In the beginning was a number, 700, the result of a quick calculation that did little to calm my nerves. But let's rewind a little bit first. The previous few months had been, let's just say, eventful. I'd got divorced and moved house, both often cited as the two most traumatic events outside of death. But never one to do things by halves. I'd thrown in a nervous breakdown, left my job, and found myself cast adrift in a sea of loneliness. In a new town with jolly shopkeepers, but even with the jolliest, it never pays to outstay your welcome. Time is money, after all. So I wandered the streets, downed a beer or three, and saw only couples everywhere I looked. I had few regrets, but did wonder if my ability to reinvent myself, an ability on which I've always prided myself, would be up to the challenge once again, this time age 60. Now, I'd like to think of myself as a young age 60, but the number doesn't lie, as my niece will gladly attest. I began to consider the job possibilities and came across a wasteland where the only thing that moved was tumbleweed, and the only sound was of crickets. First up was LinkedIn. Join our dynamic sales team, spend half your life in a car, work yourself to a husk, and earn a quarter of what you used to earn, said absolutely every ad. Besides, you had to be fluent in AI speak, a coder with 300 years experience, and prepared to form part of the vast mass of human widgets out in the 9-to-5 workforce. After a single morning on LinkedIn, I considered jumping off my balcony. But that wouldn't have done much because I live on the first floor and I'd simply have been unemployed with a broken ankle. I harbored thoughts of returning to teaching, but much as I love education in all its forms and can get quite passionate about the subject of pedagogy, it does no one's morale any good to return to what they were doing age 22. Perhaps I decided I could work with Spanish executives and touch the pain point of their relative lack of linguistic confidence when faced with their Belgian or Finnish counterparts, thus joining the clamorous horde of coaches that maraud the battlefields of LinkedIn. But once again, I soon realized that wasn't my bag. I only learned the word C-suite myself last year, and did I really want to start talking about sales figures, negotiations, divisions, and teams? Not really. I ran every possible scenario in my mind before turning to my AI of choice, Perplexity.ai. I typed in a few facts casting humility to the winds. I can write. I get told I'm charismatic or inspiring once a day. I can do languages but don't really want to work with them anymore. Been there, got the t-shirt. At this stage of my life, I want to go back to the magic of learning language, not the mechanics of making money out of it. I can teach, lead, apparently, and run communities. So put that together and come up with a magic solution, please. The basic problem was this. I didn't want to go out and work for the man, as we used to say. I wanted to do something that had me springing, not crawling out of bed. Something that would be easy and somehow, God knows how, help me make a living. I wanted to do something that hadn't been done before. Something artistic, creative, and above all, original. And originality doesn't mean an idea that's never been conceived of before. It just means a way of combining old things that's never been done before. Well, not even my friend Perplexity could conjure that out of thin air. Although the exercise of writing down on the screen exactly who and what I was no doubt helped me to see more clearly. So back to the drawing board I went. Lying on the sofa, I idly opened my bank apps and saw that I had a certain amount of money left. Knowing how much I spend each month and generally being a good money manager, I realized that I had enough money, even if I didn't lift a finger, to survive for just under 2 years. Surely, in that time, a solution would manifest itself. In fact, it came to me 2 seconds later. First the title, like a shower of sparks. It would be called 700 Days to Live, which is exactly how much time I could last for. And on day 701, I'd have to disappear in some dramatic fashion, homeless, penniless, and loveless. One thing I wasn't prepared to do was cut back on the little things that make life worth living, like a private jet, personal chef, and Michelin restaurants. No, I'm just kidding. But I didn't want to have to start pinching pennies. I'd had the good luck never to have to look at the price of anything in the supermarket and wasn't about to undo the habit of a lifetime. It dawned on me that if I wasn't going to go and find a job out there, the only option was to invent one, a job tailor-made for me. And here we are. So within moments, a concept took shape, creating a kind of firework display in my brain. And as the colors subsided, I became aware of its true potential. It wasn't about me counting down the days until I withered away. Nobody would want to read a sob story. There's no drama in watching anyone fade away into insignificance, then oblivion. No, 700 days would be about the choices we all face, the way we choose to spend our days. 7 days would be far too histrionic. Besides, we'd all do pretty much the same thing. Go home and enjoy our last meals surrounded by family. But 700 days, that creates potential for real growth, experimentation and change. It raises profound questions. What would your legacy be? What would you want to learn or teach? What causes would you want to battle for and against? Who would you want to challenge or forgive? What would you want to change about your life? And really, all of these questions circle back to one. How are we living right now? And how much of it truly feels like the life we want? So that's where our journey must begin.